What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And today, we have a major development happening in the Michigan governor's race. As of now, Tudor Dixon, the Republican who a couple weeks ago I said, there was a shot she could win, but it was going to be a long shot. Now, it appears that long shot has turned into a legitimate shot. As folks, she is currently surging on the RCP aggregate. And sure, once again, the top line has Whitmer up by 3. But you scroll down here, RCP takes into account past polling errors. Look at this. Tudor Dixon has almost a 3% lead when you account for past polling mistakes in the state of Michigan. Folks, this is called a surge. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow that Twitter account in the description down below, and join the channel today. That is right, folks, for just 10 cents a day, you can join Real American Politics. Only 10 cents a day. That's 365 days, times it by 10 cents, that's what, $36 a year? Join today and you get a good feeling in your heart knowing you support a Real American Politics. So I hope you join today. Alright folks, let's get into it. So, I made a video a couple weeks ago that had Whitmer up by, I think it was around here, that I made a video on this race. She was at about a 5.7% lead. Now she's at around a 3-point lead, according to RCP. And you scroll down here, like I said in the intro, she's at around a 2.7 lead for Dixon. This is called the surge. A couple weeks ago, look at this. 30 days to election day. This is around, 12 days? Look at this. Whitmer was up by 5 when you counted for past polling errors. Now, Tudor Dixon is up by 2.7%. This, folks, is called momentum and a surge. And if you don't know what's happening in Michigan currently, there's been a big story happening in Dearborn, Michigan. This is a city right outside of Detroit, heavy Muslim population, but that's not the big deal. What's been happening is the school board there, they're getting stormed with a lot of parents sick and tired of their kids learning about this crappy gender ideology, sex stuff, all this crap as like first graders. And well, the main people leading the charge is the Muslim population in Dearborn. Now, again, I'm not making that a big deal, but this historically has been a fairly Democrat group in Wayne County. They're right outside of Detroit. And these voters, of course, vote heavy Democrat. But there's been something happening the past couple of years with minority voters in this country. Basically, outside of black voters, yes, they've shifted, but most other groups, they've been shifting heavy Republican. Even Muslim voters. This is a weird one. One of the most Democrat parts of the country, in a part that's fairly Democrat, even more Democrat than, I think it's more Democrat than Detroit. I could be wrong, but point is, these voters historically have been fairly Democrat type of voters. Now, they're shifting Republican, so much so that Tudor Dixon, her victory may come on the back of Muslim voters in one of the most Democrat parts of the country. Imagine saying that 2 years ago. I mean, that's just absurd to say that Muslim voters who vote heavy Democrat already live in one of the most Democrat parts of the country may propel Tudor Dixon to the victory, not because they're going to vote heavy Republican, they're going to shift Republican, sure, but they brought up the one issue that's killed Democrats in a state like Virginia: education. Look, this race has officially become about education, basically the same time as Virginia last year. And I'm going to just show you a point, alright, to prove my point that, the education issue has been a main reason for Tudor Dixon's surge. Alright, sorry about that, folks. I had to bring up this once again. I forgot to bring up, of course. But look at this. So, around 18 days before Election Day, if I did this math correctly, it's about, 18 give or take a day since Election Day. Let's look at Virginia. So, around here, right, around this range, right about here, Youngkin was down by around 3.5%, right? You could make the argument, okay, fine. Let's say October 15th. Let's go from there. McAuliffe had a 2.2 lead. At the end of the day, Youngkin had around a 1.7 lead, right? 1.7 percentage lead. All right, do some basic math here. That's around a almost 5-point shift. Or I should say 4 points. But if you go back here, which around, October 12th, McAuliffe had a 3.6 lead. End of the day, Youngkin had a 1.7 lead. Around a 5.3 shift towards Youngkin. You notice how similar this is. October 10th, Whitmer up by 10. Today, Whitmer up by 3. In the past couple weeks, the exact time frame, education has become the biggest issue in the state of Michigan, even bigger than the economy, which let alone those voters, they're going to vote Republican. Education has become one of the biggest issues in the state of Michigan for very similar reasons to what happened in Virginia. Virginia, you had Loudoun County, the whole scandal with that transgender lunatic, raping I think it was a 13-year-old girl in the women's bathroom. He was able to go in there because he's a trans person. Point is, it's not the exact situation happening in Dearborn, but essentially it's, a bunch of books for kids, these totally for kid books that talk to them about sex and different types of sex. It's just why. It's a very similar situation, just you don't have that happening exactly. But education in one of the most Democrat parts of the state something's happened. Sorry, excuse, I messed up my words there. Something's happened with education in one of the most Democrat parts of the state. First, there was Loudoun County, Virginia, fairly Democrat. You had the whole sex scandal crap. Now, in education, in Detroit, I should say, Dearborn, has propelled the biggest issue to be education because of the whole, books for kids that talk to them about sex. That's right. That's totally reasonable. It's just disgusting what's happening. But it is waking up a lot of people about the whole what's happening in our schools. Really. It's not just, that's just a conspiracy theory. No. If one of the most Democrat parts of the state that is a heavy Muslim population, if they're revolting against the school board, I think there's a serious concern happening. I don't think it's some white nationalist. Now, there was a white liberal that went on stage and said, these people are acting like Hitler. It's just like, what? So the point is, Whitmer may be in big trouble like McAuliffe was. Why? Education, education, education. Very similar. Whitmer's been writing about abortion. Notice the similarities. McAuliffe ran on abortion, all right, and trumped in the GQP and all that crap, while Tudor Dixon and Youngkin both ran on education, and Youngkin more so ran on grocery stuff, but the big thing is education. Again, with the economy being this bad and the fact that education has become the number one voter, that should terrify Democrats. And also, with Whitmer, the rule of thumb, if an incumbent is below 50% in this type of an electorate, a red wave, at this point we call it red wave, no questions about it, you're screwed. You're basically screwed if you're below 50%, because all those undecideds essentially, or I should say all of them, most of them, will break for the opposing party, the party that has the wave momentum. It's just a fact. So Whitmer, I think, is in big trouble. I think Tudor Dixon has a serious shot to become the next governor of the state of Michigan. I thought this race may have been over, truly. Like back in August, yes, the polling oversampled Democrats, but still, it's like, okay, you have the summer response bias, sure, but up by 9 points. This seemed like a victory for Whitmer. It would have been close, I thought, but Tudor Dixon, she's picking up steam, and I think she's about to become the next governor of the state of Michigan. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and follow that Twitter account in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.